All right, Matt Manley from Shore Sports Network here with Holmdel's senior Ben Kipnis. Ben, welcome. Thanks for taking the time out to chat for a little bit about your start, the team start, and just what's been a really good season for you guys so far, particularly after last night. You guys went to Toms River North, where the Mariners, they had just beaten Cold Snack. They just beat Central, and they beat Manasquan to win their WOBM Christmas Classic in their gym. And you guys went in that same gym and beat them 49-44. How well, and for on your side, you guys won your Christmas tournament as well. So it was two teams playing really well at that point. Just what did you guys feel like going into that gym playing a team that was playing as well as they were?
I mean, we hear about TR North, like we've known about it. We played them 2 years ago, like we know what they're capable of. But we knew we lost to Manasquan earlier in the year, and we heard that they beat Manasquan. So we're like, okay, we're gonna go into this game. We're gonna fight. We're gonna try to do our best. But starting off the game, like I felt it, like I knew our guys, like we practice hard, like I know what we're capable of, and I knew we were capable of coming out and winning that game.
Yeah, and the way you say it it kind of puts it into perspective the way the season has been. Like you guys went to Manasquan and they started the season red hot. They beat you by I think 22. They beat Red Bank, who has one loss. They beat them by 30, but they lost to Toms River North. Why do you think it is that you could see that where you guys go to Manasquan and have a tough time? Toms River North beats them, and then you guys go beat Toms River North.
All hats off to Coach Devaney. He really has stepped up the game for us. Like the Manasquan game, unfortunately, we didn't have one of our better players, Nick Seelich. He went out with an appendix surgery, so it was kind of rough. Like we didn't know what to expect for the rest of the year, but Nick's coming back. But when we went into that Toms River North game, like just Devaney told us to stay composed. The biggest thing is to play 32 minutes of basketball. A lot of teams only like to play 2 quarters, 3 quarters, but if you stick to the game plan and you play all 32 minutes, then you hopefully come out with the win.
Yeah, and you mentioned Nick being out, and he's been out. So you guys missed him for that Manasquan game, but I think that was the first game you were missing him. So I guess
Yeah.
there's a big difference between having to do it the first time and having a few games to get used to it. How have you guys adjusted to not having him? He's a guy. You guys both averaged 17 a game last year. It's you and him have been that 1-2 punch for the last couple of years. So how did you adjust in those games after the Manasquan game to playing without him?
I mean, team scout, team see what we can do. So I'm guessing I've caught a lot of face guards and doubles. So all hats off to my teammates. Like they've stepped up 100%. Like James Valillo, Jack Valillo, Dax Cornerio, Ira Adesina, they all stepped up and they've been playing amazing recently. They
Yeah,
really took
and
the level with their game. So I'm very impressed by the way they've been playing. They've been helping me a lot.
Yeah, and you've been the constant because you haven't had Nick this year. Last year it was James Valillo was dealing with a foot injury. So last year you guys had an injury that really affected your season. This year you've had Nick. You're hoping to get him back soon. Is there something to being a senior or having more seniors this year that's allowed you guys to maybe acclimate a little bit better than you did last year when you finished a couple games under 500?
Last year was kind of rough. Like we didn't know that we were going to miss James. We didn't know that we are going to be put in the spot that we were. But now this year, I feel like we already dealt with the adversity from last year, so we know how to handle it. We have a bunch of guys who've played varsity basketball already, have had experience, have played in big games, have played in big gyms. I mean, we've been rolling. Like there's not much really to say. Our defense has been stepped up. It's just these practices we keep going harder and harder and harder, and that's what allows us to be playing basketball 32 minutes at a high level.
And you watch you guys play and you move the ball so well, and you were one of the top assist guys in the short conference last year, and it's continued this year, almost 8 a game so far. Do you think how do you fuse your ability as a passer and this offense as far as like why you're able to set your teammates up so much? Because other guys get a bunch of assists. There's a lot of assists on your baskets. It's just the way you guys play offense. But how would you say your ability to find open guys and maybe find openings that other players don't fits within the way you guys play offense?
Coach Devaney really gives us a great game plan. Like we practice a bunch of stuff, and we're trying to move as much as we can. And like my first idea is if I grab that rebound, I'm always trying to look up. I'm always trying to find the next guy ahead and just moving the ball a lot. And if we keep getting 5 to 6 passes on offense, like we're going to get a good shot. It's either three, a layup, or a mid-range, but I try my best to find the most open man, try to make good back cuts, and keep the ball on target.
You mentioned Coach Devaney a few times, and he's a really interesting character within the Shore. He's been doing this for a long time. He's coached in the Tournament of Champions, and like you talk to other coach. He's a coach's coach. Like you talk to other coaches in the area, and like he's liked, he's respected. If you did a poll, he might come out as the best coach in the Shore Conference. I think, for as long as he's been doing it, just as a guy who's gotten to play for him for 4 years, what makes him unique, do you think, as a coach?
Devaney always expects the best out of you. Like he knows what he can see what you have in your ability to play basketball. So Devaney always expects the best out of you. He always pushes us. He's always on us, and that's what comes out in games. Like we're getting better. We're playing more as a team. And Devaney preaches like playing as a team, staying composed, and playing 32 minutes is the best brand of basketball. And as you can see recently, we're on a 5-game win streak. I think so, and
Yeah,
it's been working for us ever since then.
Yeah, and you had just want to throw this out there because sometimes with stats now you get them put up the day after with huddle and everything, but you had a triple double in that championship game at the Husky against Sayreville. Just tell me about playing against them and playing against Toms River North, because it seems like it's two very different things. Sayreville had been putting up like 78 points a game before you guys played them, and then Toms River North just really astounding athleticism and size and physicality that you guys had to deal with. Just can you kind of compare the two styles you guys had to face in those two games?
Going back to the Sayreville game, like that, we know they have a guy, Sam Jones, who's in the GMC. He's a great player. Like as a sophomore, he's got a lot of time to be an amazing basketball player. We knew the first thing to do was to stop him, try to get face guards, try to not let him get into his rhythm. But we came out the win. That was the most important thing. We pushed the ball. We tried to get good pace. James Valillo and Dax had both two amazing games, 21 and 25, both of them. So that's what really helped us. Like our role players really stepped up, and I'm really proud of those kids. And then for TR North, they were physical. Like as you saw, big kids, strong, bunch of football athletes, and we just stuck with it. Like the game had a little not as much energy as it did in the tournament game versus Sayreville, but now it was, you see the two different brands of basketball, but we always try to play 1 and 2 tempos, try to push the ball, and then a second tempo, try to run a good offense, try to get a great shot. But it's been working.
Yeah. And what do you guys think? You've seen high school basketball, varsity basketball for 4 years now, essentially. And what do you think after the last couple of years? What do you think this team has the potential to do over these next few months? You've seen Manasquan. That's essentially what you guys would see in the sectional whenever you get there. The Shore Conference has Manasquan as well as certainly St. Rose. But what's your expectation for just where this team can go over these next few weeks, especially if you can get Nick back?
The sky's the limit. We have a bunch of guys that really just help us. We're only getting better, I think, at this point. We struggle sometimes. We have off nights, but we stick with it. Devaney's biggest thing that he always says, we take punches. Can we throw a punch back? And recently, we've been throwing punches back every time. I think for the next month, we can really run the table. We can win games. We can play great brand of basketball. And as the times the playoffs and states come, I think we'll be a very good basketball team by that time.
Yeah, and you guys see all those teams because you have this schedule now that you play your division, but you're also playing, you played Manasquan, you're going to play St. Rose soon, you play Ranney later this week. So you're playing a lot of these teams, and you're not running and hiding from anybody. So you'll pretty much know where you stand going into the postseason because you'll be playing all these teams. And then, lastly, I think you mentioned, you were in 8th grade when Holmdel had that 20-win season, and you guys have kind of been that group that's had to build it back up. They were Final Four Shore Conference team, 20. I think their only losses that year were to Manasquan, who was one of the best teams in the state. What's the process been like going through? Because you come in as a freshman, you're thinking, all right, yeah, we're young, we might take some lumps, but soon we're going to be that next Holmdel team. And it's taken the 4 years, but you guys look like you're ready to be in that general level with that team. What's the process been like to have to get there? Has it been a little harder than you thought? Like what's the toil been like for you guys having to get to where Holmdel was right before you got there?
To be honest, it's been a group of guys since like 5th or 6th grade. So
Yeah.
we've known like we can be talented. And as the 9th grade came, we had a bunch of seniors. It was a COVID year. So me, James, and Nick experienced like a lot. We experienced the highs and the lows. Sophomore year kind of was like a year that we exploded. We went 16-11. We were winning games. We were playing well. And then junior year, we took a step back and we kind of took punches. And that's what really built us from there. I think junior year, as bad as it was for us, I think it really helped us a lot because now senior year, we're old. We got a bunch of guys that know how to play the game of basketball, and I mean, we're gonna make some noise this year in the short conference.
Old is a relative term. You're old for high school kids, but it's been a great year. It's been fun to watch you guys. It was fun to watch you guys in Tom's River on Tuesday night, first night of the new year, and definitely a team to watch. And you know how it is. There's no rest. You guys are playing Ranny, and you got St. Rose next week. I know it's quite the stretch coming up for you guys. So I'm sure you guys will have fun with it. Ben, thanks for the few minutes. We'll get back to the class. You got the breaking news, the Battle of Trenton back there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So maybe we're breaking some news here, but thanks for the few minutes and good luck the rest of the way.
Of course. Thank you so much, Matt.
You got it.